But before we get going, again, take the drama out of it. We've had 2 good days in preparation. It's been really good to get Jaron Williams back on the field. He's, basically taken a fair amount of reps, much more work than he did a week ago. But after watching the last couple of days, we'll still continue to start N'Kosi Perry at quarterback. We just feel like, N'Kosi's development plus where Jaron still is and just getting back into the swing of things, N'Kosi gives us the best chance to win. That being said, Jaron is going to prepare like he's going to play on Saturday, and there could be a role he plays. He knows that. But until we really get Jaron feeling like he's 100%, N'Kosi's the answer.
So this is more, it sounds like physical than it is. You said there's
That's
one
correct.
part physical, one part how he responds.
No, I think he's responded. He's responded well this week mentally to your question, but yeah, physically in terms of being able to do everything he wants to do today, and it's still Wednesday. But I feel like from our preparation standpoint, he could be ready to go Saturday. But from our preparation standpoint of knowing who the starter is, and I'm a believer in like how we named Jaron 2 weeks before the game, just getting the team to rally behind the guy, and just everybody knowing right now N'Kosi's the guy, so we can prepare for our final practice and walkthroughs with that idea.
Sorry. When Jaron is 100% healthy, is it a battle for who starts now, or I know you said Jaron's still the guy. Do you sort of see how they do that week, or
I'm still going to keep saying the same thing I'm saying. I think Jaron's our guy. And just N'Kosi go out there and play, and let's see what happens.
Manny, I want to ask you about player development, because obviously besides trying to win games, you're also trying to help these guys get better, play at the next level. I want to ask you specifically about 3 seniors, Trevon, Shaq, and Pinckney, who are, I guess, maybe 3 considered NFL prospects. Just what you've maybe challenged them with to improve individually the rest of the way here.
Trevon Hill.
Yeah, Trevon Hill.
With Hill, he's obviously improved every week. I think his production has pointed towards that. I think it's been a matter of fitting into the structure of our defense. The reps that he missed by not being here for spring ball, and even his limitations in training camp. So how to play the different types of blocks, the zone read. It's a little bit different than what he's used to in the past. So he's becoming more comfortable with all that type of stuff. What we love about him is that he's a very high effort, high motor guy. A great attitude, been a great presence in our locker room. So he's been a great addition to our team. With Shaq and Pinckney, it's about, and you could throw Hill in this boat as well. It's really about your best players being your best players, down the stretch. And that was the challenge going into the Virginia game last week. That it's going to be very hard for us to be a great football team if our great players, and they know who they are, if they consider themselves a great player, don't play great. And I think they took that personally. I think they took that to heart. And both of those guys certainly turned in, probably their best performance of the year. So that's what you're looking for now the rest of the way. It's about, those guys stepping up, making those big time plays, not making good plays, making great plays when they're available. And I keep, pushing those guys, make the guys around you better, in terms of your knowledge of what's going to come next. You can influence the guys around you and make the other guys play better.
Manny, when you say Jaron is our guy, what do you mean by that exactly?
Yeah, Jaron's our starting quarterback. And
Okay.
we've never wavered from that. Yeah.
Okay.
Manny, what can N'Kosi show you? Obviously Jaron won the job for the reasons that you guys saw out here.
Right.
Is there, N'Kosi's obviously trying to grow and he's getting reps now. Is there something he can show you like this game, or maybe he plays another game after that if Jaron's still back
Of course. And there were always things. Look, as we mentioned, even when we named Jaron the starter, none of the guys are finished products. All the guys have strengths, and all the guys have different things that they would like to improve on, and those things have continued to improve since August 10th or whatever we announced it. So, there's a reason why we picked Jaron, and that reason still exists. However, that we want them all. You mentioned player development. We want them all to continue to develop. And don't we have a good thing? Remember, like in January, when we didn't think we had a quarterback that could win for us, you know what I mean? And again, I think that goes back to the job that Dan Enos has done, that I think our locker room feels very confident that we have, hey, oh my gosh, we put another guy in there and we don't miss a beat.
And Jaron would be number 2 this week, right? Not Tate?
There would probably be, it may be a 2A and 2B type thing based off of what we might do, schematically off of that.
When you say Jaron could have a role, you mean he could just go in and play a couple series or share?
It all really would depend on game mechanics and how things go.
Manny, considering the resume that N'Kosi has put together over the last 2 years and the fact that he's still not your starting quarterback at this point, what more does he need to prove? Because we've heard from certain players that he can throw the ball too hard. Does he need to soften things up? Does he need to have a better grasp of the offense? What more does he need to prove at this point?
Well, when we talk about his resume, I think we should assess his resume this year. In terms of who he is now. instead of cherry picking different things from in the past, both good or bad. The parts of his game that we knew that he had to work on coming out of August, I think he has. I think he has improved some of those things. Some of those things are things we don't really want to share with other people. It's not really fun to give away your players' weaknesses to the public or the other team. But he knows, and he's been doing it. And that's been the coolest thing about this story is a guy that continues to work, continues to get better. When the odds said, oh gosh, like I'm not going to get in, and then bang, all of a sudden, here it goes. And to me, that's a credit to how Nicosia has grown as an individual.
Let's get 2 more questions for Coach.
Manny, I know kickers are also competing right now, place kicking. Is that going to come down to pregame warm-ups again?
It could. We ended the practice today, and all 3 went up there, and they all missed one, and they all won 3 went up there, and they all made one. So it's it's something that the more I know this, the more snaps we put on them, and the more pressure we put them under, the better off they'll be for that. So yeah. So right now the race that race is still ongoing. That's on. You don't get that one on Wednesdays.
We also haven't asked you much about Georgia Tech yet.
Right.
This year a little bit different. They don't run that straightforward triple option like
correct.
In the past. I mean, how has it been different? And have to play?
Well, certainly that part is. But what's ironic is they still have option principles in their offense. They still have a running quarterback who's a very good athlete, and they still have some athletes on the perimeter that were maybe playing different roles for them in the past. They're a team that's improving. And if you look at what they did in the second half of the game, the Duke games got away from them. They had a bad second quarter against Duke, but they give you some concerns defensively with what they do because, again, defensively they weren't running the triple option. They were running an ACC defense, prior to last year. So, a lot of man coverage. They're going to challenge a lot of throws, a lot of twisting, blitzing, stunting by their front. So they're not a very static, stationary defense. There's always something going on. So they demand, really seamless communication by your front to make sure that you don't cut a free rusher loose, and so it's a challenge because they're going to take away a lot of the easy access throws, and really try to challenge you to hold the ball and get and push it down the field. So which then allows their rush to have a say in it. So it's easy to look at their record and say, oh, that's whatever. That's not in this league, man. We know how this ACC Coastal is, and we know how our team is. There's no easy wins. It's hard to win a football game, and every game has to start with that understanding. And we have not proven that we can handle that. That's a big challenge for us this weekend.
As youthful as your offensive line is it even that more impressive what DJ Dallas has been able to do behind it this year?
It is, but and again, those guys are blocking for DJ as well. But no, DJ has been relentless. He's been, to me, the identity of our offense. His will, the way he finishes runs. And the coolest, and we talk about competitive greatness. He's been his best when his best is required. The big run in the fourth quarter against Virginia Tech, the big run that got us down to the goal to go against UVA. So can't say enough about him. In my mind, he's absolutely one of the most dynamic players in our conference.
Great,
okay, thank you all.